Welcome back, everybody. If you've watched the previous video and you're just going in order, you know that we just got our account and we just came into the welcome area of the game. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to create a character. So to do this, or once you've already created a character, to actually go from the welcome area into the game, what you're going to do is you're going to type @play all together. What this is going to do is it's going to bring up the play menu. This play menu is where you can create a new character, delete a character, spend role points, spend story points, or if you already have a character created, you're going to see a numerical value associated with that character. So like the first character you make in the first slot is going to be number 1 and then their character name. For free accounts, I believe you can only get one character. If you're on a trial account right now, I believe you can have 2 characters. But just remember that once your trial expires, if you do not go to a basic account, that second character slot is not going to be available for you to play. So, and then the other thing is, if you know you want to play a character and you know it's, say, the first character in your list, when you type @play, you can type space and then a numerical value, and it'll skip this character manager and take you right into the game as that character. So if the first character is the one you always play and you're not going to do anything else, you can type @play space 1, and that will take you right into the game in as your first character. But for us, we don't have a character, so now we have to create one. So we're going to type C, and then what this is going to do is it's going to take you right to the character generator. The first thing you have to do with the character generator is you have to come up with a name. I'm going to warn you, though. Later, when you get to the veteran character generator, where you can make a veteran character if you have a package or if you get awarded one, or if in the unlikely event that your character dies because you put them on CHOP or through an event or something, you can usually get rewarded with a veteran character package. When you enter the character's name, if you quit the character generation process, that name will be gone. So especially for the veteran characters, if you re-roll your stats, which we'll cover later when we get to the VC packages and the VC generator, but just know now, if you stop this process, the name is most likely going to be gone because it's the first thing you do. So make sure if you start this process, you finish this process, okay? So for us, we're going to make a character, and I have no idea what I want to call him. So let's see. I need something just generic. Let's call them... We'll see if the name actually takes. We'll try Baldwin. Okay, that name is invalid, so we're not going to be able to use it. What else should we try? Let's try something Roman, shall we? Let's go in here. Roman name generator. And we'll see what comes up. Something neat. Amphion. Let's try that. Amphion. Nope, that is already taken. Man, we're not having much luck here, are we? Let's generate names. Let me turn my stuff down. Focus. Let's try that one. PHOCAS. Boy, this is not helpful. Okay, so... Wow. That's an interesting name. We'll try that one. I doubt anyone's going to have this one. Okay, all right. So what was it? Varus. We'll just go with that. So once you get a first name that's going to work, then you go on to making your last name, and then you put it in here. Usually people don't know your last name. It's not, unless you're a patrician or very high up in the government, you're not going to see the person's last name when they walk into a room. But it will be on your character sheet. It can be used for like family things. It may become important later in the game, but when you're starting, it really doesn't matter. And don't worry if you have the same name as somebody else. Last name. You can't have the same name. You can't have the same first name as somebody else. But if you have the same last name as somebody else, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to pick male. So what you're going to do here is you're going to answer some questions about the character that you have in mind. So what I would highly suggest at this moment is take a moment and think about the kind of character you want to make so that when you're picking these things, the character that you've created in your mind is the one that you're going to be making. As with anything, you can absolutely min-max this stuff. You can metagame it to be the biggest, strongest, fastest, smartest. Sorry, my earbud is really bothering my ear. You can metagame it into whatever you want. You can try to make the best out of it. For your very first character, I will give you this advice. Kind of think of them as a throwaway character. Get into the system, tinker with it, play with some of the skills, see what you like, see what you don't like, see what you want to do, and then kind of axe this character after like 30 or 40 days and make a whole new one with a focus on exactly what you want to do. For us, I really don't care because this character is just going to be used for showing you the character generation process and some of the other like beginning things of the game. Once we get out of that, I probably won't be logging into them much anymore. Except, in the off chance I need to do something with a brand new character, but I'll be using Jaeger as my other character when I go to hunting areas and show you those and things, just because it'll be easier. But for now, this is just going to be character generation, Signal Tower Island, which is kind of like the newbie area, doing some of the new arrival jobs and things like that. So it really doesn't matter what this person is, but we're going to go through and create this character. So now, where was my character born? I have a whole list of places that my character could be born. If they are born in the city of Iridian, that is like the main hub where you're going to start. It's the capital of the Iridian Republic. Everyone in the game is a part of this republic when they start playing. So just because you pick, say, that your Windward, it doesn't put you in Windward. You still start as a person in the Republic of Iridian. Everyone starts as kind of like a person there. So don't feel like picking your homeland is going to make you an enemy of one of these other ones. The Republic just got out of a long war with Synera, but there's a lot of Synerans in the game, so don't worry about it. If you want more information on this, look it up on the wiki, which I'll drop a link underneath the video. I'll drop a link to the wiki so that you can go right to these character generation traits, all that other stuff. So for us, we're just going to pick City of Iridian because it's number 1, and now we have to pick where we're from. The Steppes, basically a poor area. This is where a lot of the criminals hang out. Think of it like the slum area of any major city that you're going to be at. The harbor area, I view as kind of like red light district. Okay, there's a lot of bars, there's a lot of cheap hotels, you have things like that. The sandbar is like middle class, and then Quartz Heights is like upper class. So from 1 to 4, it's the lowest income area to the highest income area. So we're going to pick Sandbar just because I've never picked that one before. Now, now is when you're getting into what your character would want. Okay, so if my character had a choice of where to live, would I want to be in a big town, small town, or in the wilderness? I'm just going to pick one. What most attracts you to life in this area that you're picking? Is it, let me read these options here. I'm going to pick 2. Did I have many friends as a child? Yes. These are probably going to make your social stats a little better. What generally attracted others to befriend you? Here you're kind of getting into what you're known for. This is going to tailor your stats. Stats are very important in this game. In fact, at lower levels, stats are more important than skill ranks that you learn, like skills that you learn. So pay attention to your stats. A quick and charming tongue is going to make you a better broker. Intelligence is going to make you probably a little bit better in your mental stats. Same with good listener. Fairness and integrity, same, or your athletic abilities. If you're going for a weapon build and you want to be kind of a combat beast, pick 5, because that's going to give you the other things are going to affect other things in the game. But if you're looking for just raw damage and you want to, be strong, hit hard, have a lot of endurance, you're probably going to want to pick 5 here. I'm going to pick 5. What did I enjoy as I grew up? I'm going to say sports and physical activities. Again, just pick whatever you want. You can tailor this however you want. What activity would you have been best at? If you look at this, you're going to kind of figure out what's going on here. Wrestling is probably going to be strength. Swimming is going to probably be... swimming and running, I would say, are going to be around endurance. Gymnastics is probably going to be agility, and boxing is probably going to be dexterity. I don't know what to pick. Let's pick something. Let's pick swimming, because I do love swimming. Now we're going to determine what our character looks like. This part of the character generator, you can see, has a lot of options. So first, you're going to pick the adjective that best describes your character. Again, when you're picking these adjectives, they are going to have modifiers to the stats that are already calculated for your character that you just can't see yet. So if you pick like flabby, you're probably going to have worse endurance. If you pick scrawny, you're going to have lower like strength. So what should we pick? Let's see here. Let's say we're going to say muscular is the overall. So we're probably going to have better strength stats. Now, you pick what color skin you have. This isn't really going to matter, but if you look here, it gives you kind of an idea of where this skin tone would come from. Hold on a second. If you're looking to pick somebody from Iridian, Iridian is based off the Roman Republic. As a basis, it is not the Roman Republic. It's just similar to it. Kind of like Conan the Barbarian is based kind of off like Dungeons and Dragons, kind of like that fantasy era. Doesn't mean it belongs in that camp. So, or for a more modern reference, you have Game of Thrones, right? I'm trying to think of who one of the houses would be based off of. So like Winterfell, and the House of Winterfell is kind of based on like Northerners. So you would think like Vikings or Slavic type people. If we made a game, it doesn't mean that that if you pick Winterfell, you are from like Norway. It just says you're kind of like based on that. So kind of think about what you want. You're going to go with like olive looking skin if you want to be an Iridinian. If you want to be from Cinera, pick like sandalwood brown, ochre, dark olive, those kind of things. So you can really pick whatever you want here. I'm going to pick golden brown. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, but it is one of those things. So now we come to what color are your eyes. If you have, let's see here, is it even an option for a new character? I don't believe it is. If you have purple or indigo eyes, there's some negative consequences to that as your character based on like Iridian lore and history. So I don't think it's a starting option, but if you do like a character makeover and you pick that, know that it will incur some role-playing hardships for you, and that can lead to that. But the GMs and staff will warn you if anything you pick actually makes you kind of like subject to that. But for now, you're just doing basic character generation. None of these that I can see on here really would be a problem, so you go ahead and pick whatever you want. I'm going to pick steel. Now, what color is our hair? Let's see. What should we pick? Probably should have thought of this beforehand, huh? I don't know. I'm going to pick sienna. And then how long is my hair? We're going to pick long. What, if any, style? So here you can pick if it's going to be styled at all. I'm not going to put it in the style. And then what kind of texture is my hair? We're going to go with delicate. Face structure, let's say oval. I'm just randomly picking a lot of this stuff. My nose, what would we say? If you pick ordinary, I believe it doesn't discuss it in the character description. So if I would have picked like a pug nose, it'll say like this character has long blonde hair or whatever with a pug nose. But if I pick ordinary, it just kind of cuts it out. Lips, let's see. I'm just going to go ordinary. Again, you can pick whichever you want. Cleft chin, height. So your height can determine, I believe it can determine, it's going to play into how heavy you are. So the shorter you are, obviously, the lighter you are going to be. But that's more useful for like people trying to carry you and things like that, so it is what it is. Okay, now you're going to pick 3 adjectives along a big list that describe you. You can see here there is a ton there. So I'm going to pick 59, which is muscular because it just popped out at me. And then you pick another number. If you look, 59 is now gone and replaced with something else. So kind of look around and make sure it basically shifted everything back one. I'm going to pick dexterous and strong. Let's pick that. Okay. Now, your character can start with one or more skills. He or she will advance much more easily in starting skills. What this is saying is that skills are the skill slot that you have. It bases the points you need to raise skills in the first slot is a little bit less than second slot, which is less than third slot. So basically, the lower the skill slot or the higher the number of the skill slot that you're in, the more it costs to raise it. So the thing you're going to want to focus on first, I would put that in your first skill slot. I want to do, let's see here. We have knives, crushing, swords, pickpocketing, spears, staves, archery, one-handed axes, brawling, healing, tailoring, survival, hunting, locksmithing. I would suggest for your first playthrough, absolutely pick up a weapon skill because a lot of the game is dangerous. So you're going to want to be able to defend yourself. I've never done maces, so let's do crushing. And then you can have, because you picked a certain thing, you get free lores. We have Iridinian Road lore free. So I can either get first aid lore, protection lore, or I can get one-handed swords free. I'm going to take one and take the first aid. I think that helps. Okay, now you're going to go into picking traits. There's a whole menu on traits. So I would look through them first. I would get, like I said, this is your first playthrough. I wouldn't even take any just because you don't want to take something that you kind of screw yourself over. So I'm not taking any for this first playthrough. Like I said, you're welcome to look at the wiki and see what all you can see in there for traits and how you kind of want to min-max, or definitely talk in the Discord and get advice on how to, like, if I'm taking this skill set and I want to be this person, like, this is kind of what I want to do in the long run. What skills should I take or what traits should I take? There's a lot of very helpful people, both in the main wiki and my Discord wiki for the stream. So just pop in, ask some questions. People usually get back to you in a couple minutes. But I'm not taking any. We've come to the end of character generation. Do you want to keep this character? Absolutely we do, because we're going to get into it from here. Okay, so thank you for joining me for the character creation. I hope you enjoyed it. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to log into the character and we're going to go through the tutorial. So I hope to see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.